A few weeks ago, I was in a meeting where it was in a meeting where people come out and speak in public, and somebody was called to come out and speak in public. She got on the stage and stood there. She was supposed to speak for she was supposed to speak to for about 5 minutes. No, she was supposed to speak for 2 minutes. So she came out. She stood there and couldn't say anything. The next thing, she started shaking, started shivering. She couldn't say anything. So I personally was confused. I'm sure other people there were also confused. Another lady from the audience walked out, went to her, put her arm around her and held her and said, "Stay still, stay still." And by the time she got out, the speaker was already tearing. Tears were already coming out of her eyes. It was it was a touching situation. It was an experience even for me. Excuse me. So the lady that came out put her arm around her and said, "Stay still. Just say your name." And so, even in all the shaking and shivering, with all of that, she managed to say her name. And she whispered into her ears and said, "Say thank you." And she said, "Thank you." And we all clapped. That was a speech. That was a speech. Why am I telling you this story? The fear of public speaking is real. And that wasn't the first time that I have seen someone get on stage and not able to say anything. It doesn't mean that they don't know what to say. Remember, this woman or this lady had already prepared a speech to speak for 2 minutes. She got on stage, got introduced, got on stage, and couldn't say anything. Well, I'm sure that with good coaching and training, she'll go on to become an effective speaker. I've seen lots of people like that. But again, for me, it was a humbling experience because I got to see that the fear of public speaking is real and people really need help. And for you to speak in public, it takes courage. That reminds me of Winston Churchill's quote where he said, "Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. And courage is what it takes to sit down and listen." But I want to take the first side. It takes courage to stand up and speak. I know that that can be applied in different circumstances, but physically, literally, standing up to speak takes courage. To speak in public, it takes courage. When we see inspirational speakers, motivational speakers, public speakers speak and we're moved, so wow. It takes a lot of courage to stand there. So what would it be like if you have the courage, if you master the skill to deal with what has been said to be the number one fear in the world, and that is public speaking? Imagine that. Excuse me, I don't know what's happening today, right? So it's the prevalence of so the fear of public speaking is out there. It's widespread. And that's why I personally make the videos that I make to teach people on how they can become better public speakers. We do not have perfect public speakers, but we have incredibly beautiful, great public speakers, impactful public speakers. So what keeps many people like you, even me sometimes from speaking is fear. A fear of being judged, fear of saying the wrong thing, anxiety, nervousness, panic attack. I don't want to feel like nonsense before everyone. And so for that reason we hold back from passing that message that we have that someone might just need. So what's the root cause of fear? The root cause of fear in terms of, especially when it comes to public speaking, is judgment. We don't want to be judged. That's the root cause of fear. We don't want to be rejected. That's the second. We don't want to be judged. We don't want to be rejected. But there's a third one, the pressure of performance. You have everyone looking at you. People are looking at you. This is your day. Go there, kill it. Go, hey, go. Yes, we watch you, man. You're going to do well. The pressure comes down on you and you feel, you sure I can do this? And even apart from that, the pressure you put on yourself. You see, when you focus, one of the things that would kick against you, especially when you are a new public speaker, is when you put so much pressure on yourself. Focus on yourself. The focus should be on the message and on the audience. How can I pass the message in a way that the audience can benefit? That's it. It doesn't matter whether I speak right or not, necessarily. It doesn't matter if I'm an expert in grammar, or if I'm an expert at grammar or not. It doesn't matter if I'm good looking or not. But the more important thing is I care enough to want to pass the message. The moment you shift the burden, the moment you shift the weight to the message and the audience, you will feel light. I challenge you to do that. So the pressure of performance gets on people and it scares them. You see, when you face a pressure, it manifests physically. When you are scared of judgment, rejection, it manifests physically. And what are some of the physical manifestations? Your heart rate increases. Your heart rate increases. And you begin to sweat. Even when you're standing on stage, before you're even called upon the stage, before the day, your anxiety, you're scared. I can tell you that. I know the power of being scared. When I give an example, I'll give you an example. I'll tell you a story. When the first time I wanted to take my driving test, I couldn't sleep the night before. I had a meeting before the test, and all through as I was traveling, my mind was on the test. I was totally afraid. I was so scared. I called my wife and I said, when we talk about fear, when it comes to different things, like public speaking and all of that, I personally do not think I've experienced fear as much as many people. I've been speaking for a very long time. I've made mistakes on stage, forgotten my scripts, tried to get back, delivered speeches that really didn't connect, and delivered amazing speeches that people still talk to me about today and call me, and it's given me lots of businesses. Yes, those are the ups and downs. But in terms of fear, as most people are scared when it comes to public speaking, yes, I've had my fair share, but not like most people. But my experience getting ready for my driving test gave me a glimpse of how fear can paralyze you even when it comes to public speaking. So, like I said, your heart rate will continue, will increase, and then you begin to sweat, you're nervous, you're trembling, you have dry mouth, name it. What you need to do is to calm yourself. There are lots of factors that contribute to this fear, and then brings about that also contribute, end up bringing up all these physical manifestations that I have mentioned. The fear of being judged, like I mentioned, the fear of making mistakes, apprehension about people scrutinizing you, and maybe unexpected questions might fly in left, right, and center, depending on where you're doing the presentation and all of that. So how can you help yourself to become a better public speaker? Some of the strategies I think can help you real quick here is gradually expose yourself to public speaking. Les Brown said, speakers speak. Simple. You want to become a good public speaker, make sure you speak every time. Every opportunity you have, speak. That is why we've created a community where those who want to learn how to or improve their public speaking skills can be part of that community, because it gives you an opportunity to speak every time. Imagine if you speak at least once or twice every week. Could be 2-minute speech, a 5-minute speech, a 7-minute speech, but you're always speaking. Speaking is like driving. You really cannot learn how to drive by just reading books. You have to get behind the steering. You have to hold the steering. You have to deal with the steering and the gear selector. You have to deal with all the pedals, your brake, your clutch, and all of. You have to deal with all of that physically and train your mind to master those. And make sure you use both hands, left, right hands, your legs, everything. You have to get on the road and get scared. That's how public speaking is. So the key thing is gradual exposure. That's number one. And number two is practice relaxation techniques. I said it in one of my videos. I've also taught some of my students. I talk to myself when I get on stage. If I get on stage sometimes and I see the crowd goes, oh, I just tell myself, hey, stay still. I detach myself from my mind because my mind tells me take off, fly. But I want to be here. So I tell a joke, I tell a story, I tell an illustration, but it does not connect, and I see it in the eyes of the audience. Well, your mind will tell you, well, you've lost it. No, it happens. It simply happens. All you need to do is take the feedback, and next time when you want to give that same speech or you want to tell that story again, you find a way to tell the story in a way that it connects. Sometimes you have to tell the story again and again and again for you to be so comfortable and confident to use the story in different speeches. It's all part of the learning process. You have to learn your relaxation technique. Another thing that you need to do in order to help you to take care of this fear is you need to have what is called cognitive restructuring. You need to be able to put your mind in place. You need to be able to also structure your speech in a way that this will remind you, will trigger this, and this will trigger this. All these are techniques that you can learn. And that's why I'm saying that if you can do these things on your own, that's fine. If you can watch my videos, I've put a lot of videos out there to help people to become better public speakers. If you can watch them, take the lessons and apply them actively, intentionally apply them and learn, that's okay. But if you need help, if you think that you need help, you need a community to support you, you need coaching and mentoring to help you, check below this video or on the side of this video, depending on where you're watching this video, and you would find a link that will take you to us. You'll meet me or one of the program advisors, and we would find out where you are, where you want to go, and how we can help you to get to that point. Remember, where you are today is your comfort zone. Where you want to go is your goal. It's an uphill task. Sometimes it's not easy to run alone, and you're going to have 15 minutes free to speak with us. And then we would see if we're fit and we'll be able to do something with you and to help you. Okay, so the other thing that I think I want to share with you finally on this video is that you utilize the resources that you have, like public speaking courses, like I mentioned, professional coaching. There's nothing that takes the place of coaching. So I'd encourage you, find out, even if it's not us, but I'm encouraging you, find help. Because public speaking is key, it's important. I do think that everybody needs to have a measure of public speaking skills to help them to grow in their career, in their life, even in their relationships. I hope this has been able to help you. I've discussed with you the fear of public speaking, why people are scared, some of the reasons, and ways that you can overcome some of these fears. Please, if this has helped you, if this has touched you in some way, help someone else. Benefit from the joy of giving. So share this video. We want to grow this channel. But beyond that, it's not about the ego, right? But beyond that, there are people that you can reach that we may not be able to reach. If you can help us reach them, we will be so grateful. Thank you so much. My name is Stallone-Obaraemi. I value the time you spend watching this video. And my sincere desire for you is that you become a better version of yourself. Thank you very much. Bye for now.